Hello, guys. Welcome back to Fresh Podcast. My name is Rodrigo. I'm your host. I'm here with Aaryan again because, as we explained in the previous podcast, everyone left, and we're the only ones who were still here in London. So this podcast is gonna be actually a special episode. We're gonna deal with. It's gonna be a Christmas episode since Christmas is in the corner.
And Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Holidays, of course, to all the other ones.
Maybe by the time you listen to this podcast, it's already been Christmas, or it's gonna be Christmas at the moment the podcast is released. So if it already has been Christmas, we hope you had a very good Christmas. And if it's yet to be Christmas or is the Christmas day itself, Happy Christmas.
Hope Santa Claus brings you something good.
Yeah, let's go with that, of course. So basically, our idea for this podcast was to talk about some stories of previous Christmas years we had, some previous Christmas, some Christmas memories we may have. So, Aaryan, I know you are not someone who is supposed to celebrate Christmas, maybe because of a religious thing, right?
I mean, Christmas is a very Christian thing, but growing up in Germany, Christmas was always there with us when we went to the Christmas market, for example, and my parents also gave me gifts during Christmas.
So I know that you don't. Yeah. So it's
related
to German culture, of course, but since you're not technically supposed to celebrate Christmas, in your house, do you eat any special foods for Christmas? Does your food change during Christmas, or do you just eat the same thing you always eat?
I mean, basically, meat has started to come into our, because my parents really don't know how to cook meat properly because they grew up in India in a vegetarian household, so cooking meat was like seen as a taboo for them, and they told me that I can cook the meat. So for the last 2 years I had tried to cook turkey. The first time was a failure, but the second time it turned out beautiful, and I ate it with some...
So you do try like eating different food, of course. So yeah, in Argentina it's pretty different. We don't really eat turkey. Like during Christmas, you have several foods. I think our audience must know which foods are those.
Which ones? For people who don't know,
for the people who don't know, basically like we usually make like something called a pianono, which is like it's like a roll, like a roll, and you can put several things inside. Some people like make them salty, like
what meat?
Salted
beef.
Not beef, with like ham,
Oh, okay.
With ham and cheese.
Okay.
Ham and cheese, or you can do it like more sweet and put dulce de leche. And I think overall it's both a pretty good meal and dessert as well. We also make, of course, barbecue, asado. It's traditional.
Yeah.
And we also have the tradition of throwing fireworks, during Christmas.
Oh.
Even though it's pretty much illegal, I think. I'm not sure actually. I might have to check that.
In Germany, it's illegal to do it before New Year's.
However, Christmas, most people don't like throwing fireworks because it's very noisy and it's bad for their dogs, of course, because dogs, they panic when you have the fireworks, so they might hurt themselves, or they might escape from your home.
Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog, but I know that for a fact that's what happens. I used to have a dog. And during Christmas, we had to have him inside, because otherwise he would like listen to all the fireworks and he would just go crazy. So yeah, I personally like fireworks, of course. I think they look very good, especially in Christmas during the night. It's just crazy, and that gives me a lot of memories from when I was a child, because when I was a child, my parents and my cousin, especially my cousin, because I had a bigger cousin, he usually like bought a lot of fireworks, and he would like turn those fireworks in his garden, and it would just go crazy. And I remember once that he had like a box, in Spanish it's called torta, which is like it's a type of firework, but basically he had like a match, he turned it out with a match, and he was just next to the thing, and I don't know if he either forgot it was like on or not, but he just stayed next to the thing.
Oh
And he he put his hands to his ears. I don't remember that as a bad thing, of course. Like at the time, I was laughing so hard.
Oh no!
Because it made me laugh a lot, because that was very dumb of him, of course. And it just made me laugh. And that's one of the memories I have when I look at fireworks. And yeah, regarding meals, I usually, as we said before, barbecue, pianono, a thing called viteltoné, which is as well meat, beef, but with a special sauce made of mustard, I think. And yeah, that's basically what we usually eat during the Christmas. Then regarding presents, do you get any presents during
Yeah,
Christmas?
I mean, I remember this was still the time I used to believe in Santa Claus. And so I got Star Wars lightsabers for I think it was when I was 6 or something.
6.
Yeah, 6. My parents just like left a present outside for me outside the door. They were like, make a wish list and everything. Just to get me, because the German kids everywhere were like, oh, what do you have on your Santa list? What do you have on your Santa list?
And when did you find out that Santa Claus doesn't exist?
So basically, I took the lightsaber.
What? Doesn't exist?
Yeah, this is a funny story. Basically, I took the lightsaber. It was for the Wii, so it was a Star Wars game for the Wii where you put the Wii remote inside the lightsaber and use it for a game. And basically, I started smashing that lightsaber against the floor because I was angry because I was losing, and my mom walks in and was like super angry at me. I was like, why are you getting so angry? Santa Claus paid for it. She was like, no, you idiot, your dad paid for it. Santa Claus doesn't exist. And that was like a heartbreaking moment, but then I was like, oh, lol, I guess my parents will get me presents from next time on.
Yeah, I find out just because my parents straight up told me, and I was like 7, I think. I was like 7, and they told me, yeah, basically he doesn't exist. And the first thing I did was go straight to my sister and tell her, yeah.
Oh no! And your sister's younger or older?
No, younger. She was like 2 years younger than me. She is 2 years younger than me. So I basically went straight up to her and said, yeah,
Santa Claus, he ain't real.
He doesn't exist. It's just her parents who give us presents.
You've been scammed.
And she was like 5 at the time. I don't know if she cried or not, but I think she cried.
I definitely cried. Yeah, 100% I cried.
I didn't cry.
How old are you?
When I was told. What?
How old were you?
I was 7.
What a savage.
No, but I was told that and I was like, yeah, I think it's pretty logical actually. if you think about it. I mean,
an intellectual at age 7.
Imagine me like a fat man, a fat old man that gives you presents, that has a freaking like how do you say this in English? A carriage.
Yeah. Okay. The sleigh, Santa's sleigh.
Yeah, a sleigh that flies
with reindeers.
With reindeers and stuff. Nah, that's way too unbelievable, you know.
In Germany,
but,
we had so
even
many
though
different characters.
I was told that the Christmas, the Santa Claus wasn't real, I still believed in the Easter
Bunny.
Easter Bunny, yeah, and in the in Spanish we say Raton Pérez, but it's basically the thing that gives you money when you lose a teeth.
The tooth fairy in English.
In English, yeah, but we say Raton Pérez, Spanish.
And we have so many different
and
ones in Germany.
Also the kings, I think called Reyes Magos.
I'm not sure.
That's basically you celebrate that in the 12th of January. It's like 12th of January. No, 6th January. 6th January. Basically, it's like they were the ones that gave Jesus presents when he was born.
Oh, yeah. We have that in Germany. I don't remember. They were like merchants or apostles or something.
Melchior, Bartolome, something like that. And basically, we had to like put grass and water for the camels, you know. And I don't remember. I don't know how. Still to this day, I don't know how my parents managed to make it look like they were actually camels. That's why I believe that, because. And at some point, I thought they bought like a perfume that smelled bad, you know, a bad smelling perfume to make us believe that those people were actually real and they were giving us presents. So back to Christmas. I have gotten some crazy presents for Christmas. Last Christmas, for instance, my present was a ticket to the Lollapalooza, which is a festival in Brazil and also happens in other parts of the world, like in Argentina, for instance, and in France, Paris. That was my present. Basically each year. Lately, my Christmas presents have been, how do you say, more adult. Yeah, like not so much games. You know, it's more like things that are more utility based.
That's so sad.
Like clothes and stuff like that. You know, I don't mind. I mean, I like getting new clothes, so I don't mind. And yeah, that's for presents. Then what else can I tell you about Christmas?
Well, on about folklore, when you were talking about all the folklore that you guys have in Argentina, in Germany we have a bunch of different characters who are pretty scary actually, and used to discipline children. Why we think German people are so disciplined? We have characters like Krampus, who's a half goat, half demon, who basically eats children when if they've been bad, or Rupert Knecht Ruprecht, who's also like gives bad children coal and beats them with a stick if they've been bad.
It's a very
Yeah.
violent culture, bro.
Well, yeah, of course, we're pretty messed up, but no one actually believes it.
I don't think so right
it's still
now.
it's still thing.
But yeah, in Argentina we have something very similar. It comes from the like the Aborigine culture, you know, from the natives. Basically, it's someone called bombero. It's someone who like if you don't sleep during the nap time, you know,
Yeah.
during nap time, if you go out, this guy will come. He will kidnap you. And he will like eat your brains or something like that.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, we have a bunch of different characters like that. There was one I forgot what her name is, but basically, if you've been a bad child or a bad servant, or if you've caught stealing, she cuts open your belly and fills it with rocks and straw, and basically that was also used to scare children into being well behaved. So I guess that's why Germans are so disciplined all the time.
I see. Yeah.
We solved another mystery on this podcast.
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty interesting, like psychological analysis there. Like, Germans are disciplined because they have that culture.
It's because of Jakob.
Yeah.
It's because of the Grimm brothers. I don't know if you, of course, Hansel and Gretel. They wrote the famous.
Oh yeah, they're
famous
German.
stuff.
Yeah, of course they're German. Yeah.
Of course, they're German.
No, I remember. Yeah, because of the clothing and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
the clothing they used to wear, and Hansel. When I think about it, it is a pretty German name.
and Gretel too.
Yeah, they're both German names. Like that's Greta Thunberg.
Or
not even
she's
German,
Swedish.
She's Swedish, yeah. Sorry to my Swedish brothers out there. Yeah, so yeah, that's I think so far what I can tell you about Christmas. What about you guys? Do you have any interesting Christmas anecdotes? Anything that gives you nostalgia when thinking about Christmas? For me, at least, I have many things I can tell you about Christmas, but it would take a lot of time to actually like explain all my stories for Christmas. Like for instance, once when we were like at a friend's house, and I was like 6, I think. It was in Venezuela, because I used to live in Venezuela. So we were at a friend's house, and basically like the parents, they started talking with us as a way of distracting us, you know. I think that was the goal, you know. And basically at some point we listened to some noise coming from the backyard, and we went there, and there was a guy, of course, this guy that's Santa Claus, but he was very like well disguised, you know. He was a very good disguise, and he had like the tray and everything, you know.
Oh wow.
He came with props and everything. So basically he like started talking with us and everything. But now that I think about it, it's probably at the time my parents, and they used that, of course, to try to distract us from the fact that they were placing all the gifts and next to the tree. So yeah, that's and at least one anecdote I have from Christmas. I have many more, of course. So yeah, basically that's all for this podcast, guys. As always, keep up with us. Follow us on our social media, which is fresh.podcast on Instagram, and Fresh Podcast OK on Twitter. Then, of course, give us feedback and tell us your Christmas stories if you have any. I'm sure you have more. I don't know, more than me, but probably a lot as well. I'm saying that because like I suppose that most of our audience are younger than me, I suppose. But yeah, just
9-year-old army.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, as always,
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, and yeah, see you the next time.